talked about the throw to Travion on third down, that we had thought maybe we might go conservative, but then I said, well, we're trying to win a championship. Let's go for it. Can you kind of walk us through what's going on the headsets heading into that play?
Well, obviously that was a critical drive, and we wanted to get points out of it. It was a 3rd and long, and we had another play called, and just at the last second, just didn't like the look they were giving us. So Coach Swinney called timeout, and then I think we got to the play that we ended up calling. We got to that play pretty quickly. It was a play that we'd called earlier the drive before, and we felt pretty certain whenever we went empty what look we were going to get from the defensive side of the ball. To be honest, we really thought it was going to go to the boundary, to where Deion Kane and Sharon Peak were kind of high-low in the corner over there. But when you get Sean back there at quarterback, he sees things very well, and he saw a look he liked to the field. And that's why I give Travion a lot of credit, because he really was not the primary target on that play. But he ran his route. We always talk to our wideouts. It doesn't matter who the number 1 read is for the quarterback. You run your route like he's throwing it to you. And then that way, when he does, you're not surprised and you're where you're supposed to be. And, to be honest, we were in empty. There was 5 guys that could have gotten the ball, and Deshaun worked his way to the field, and the ball showed up right there to Travion on one of the biggest plays of the year.
Is that what you call a big time throw too?
Oh yeah, I think anytime you're making a throw from one hash all the way to the other field, about 20 yards down the field, that's a big time throw, and there's not a lot of guys that can make that throw, but he definitely can.
How much have you looked at North Carolina? Obviously on Saturdays you're pretty involved, so maybe you haven't gotten a chance to see them throughout the year, but what do you personally know about sort of what they bring to the table defensively?
Yeah, well, I think most of what I know is what I watching them all day yesterday, and then today through lunch, from this morning through lunch. And defensively they're playing together. There's not a lot of missed assignments. When you look at the big play cut up, they haven't given up a lot of big plays. That's kind of what their philosophy is. What it looks like to me is they want to keep it in front of them on defense and not give up the big play, and then they want to outscore you on offense. And that formula has worked really well for them this year. And so that's what our challenge is to be able to find a way to get some explosive plays with the scheme that they run. And they require you to drive the whole length of the field. They've given up some yards, but the scoring, they're 19th in the country in scoring, so they're doing a really good job of not letting you in the end zone. And but it'll definitely be a good challenge. And the good thing for us is we've played some good defenses this year, and we've had success versus those defenses, so I think our guys will have a lot of confidence. But ultimately, it's going to come down to our execution, for those 4 quarters, and that's what Monday through Friday is all about, is preparing and practicing so that we can go out and execute at a high level. And we'll have to do that to have a chance to have success.
Does being patient also play a big role in that, being that, like you just said, they're so tough in the red zone?
Yeah, I think so. They're a defense that's going to want to make you drive the whole length of the field, and not give up the 2 or 3 play touchdown drives, and so that they are going to require you to be patient and have a good mix between running the ball and throwing the ball, and so it'll require us to be at our best.
Do you go very deep into Coach Schizig's resume to look at what he's done?
Yeah, I think, especially because it's late in the year, we've been able to see, I guess we have 12 games on tape now, so you can see a lot of what he wants to do with the personnel that he has. We have looked at some stuff from the past just to kind of get an idea, but really each coach, with the personnel that they have at the time, and maybe some thoughts that have evolved through the time. I think the best video for us are these 12 games that they've played, but we have looked back at a few other things just to double check a few things in case maybe they want to bring something a little bit different than what they've shown this year.
I think it's now half games this year. We've lost the turnover margin. Could you imagine going undefeated and that being the case?
Yeah, that's what we were saying the other day. I don't think we'll ever experience a time where we'll have lost the turnover margin 6 times and won all 6 of those games. And that's definitely not the the formula that we're trying to keep on offense. But I think what it does say is it says that we got a team that knows how to win, and we're good enough to overcome some of those mistakes. And that's what we've told our guys. We don't have to go out and play perfect. There's been a few years around here where we had to go out and just play just about perfect to have a chance to win the game. And we don't have to play perfect. But you know, when you play a team like North Carolina that can score a lot of points on their side, then turnovers become even a bigger deal because you don't want to give them any extra possessions. But our guys have found a way, have been very resilient, found a way to overcome those, and there's a lot to be said for that in order to have a special year like we're having so far.
You talked about Deshaun having an even-keeled personality. How does that help him manage himself, given that he's been in the conversation for as many awards as he has?
Yeah, I think you know, Deshaun is the leader on the offense. He doesn't do a lot of talking, but I think his actions, the way he prepares, the way he practices, just being the same person every day at practice, being the same person each game day on Saturday. I think our players know what they're going to get out of Deshaun, and I've said it many times. He's got unbelievable physical ability, but I really think his mental ability, the strength that he has is making very quick decisions in the middle of plays and knowing where to go with the ball. And you know, I think by kind of having that even-keeled demeanor, it really allows him to make those decisions and not get distracted because of emotion or all the different things that can get in a quarterback's mind. But our offense obviously has a lot of confidence going out there each drive with him on the field, just because of all the past experiences.
Is it a positive that there's not necessarily become a go-to wide receiver with Mike Williams down? I mean, with the game on the line, this isn't going to Travion. I mean, Tavis Scott has had big plays. We've got Deion King with fucking touchdown passes in 5 straight games. And the fact that it's so spread out, does that make it a lot harder for a defense to kind of focus on what are they going to do on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9?
Yeah, I think it does, and that's ultimately where we want to be. We've just been in a situation where we've had a few superstars around here in the past with, you know, Watkins and Hopkins and Martavis Bryant, some of those guys. But I think we're getting to a point recruiting-wise where, you know, we've got a lot of guys that can play, and I think we want to stretch the defense out as wide as we can. Horizontally and then, you know, vertically down the field, and can really be able to get the ball to a lot of different people. And definitely, I think, keeps them from being able to key on 1 or 2 guys. I think the other thing is, you know, when you do have a long year, especially a year like this where you're playing in a championship game and you're going 13 weeks, you know, I think it helps with your depth, because there's going to be certain weeks that certain guys are a little bit more banged up than others, and so you don't have all your eggs in one basket, and if that guy kind of goes down, then your production at your position goes down. And so that's the thing I'm probably most pleased with that group is, you know, we've got 6 or 7 guys that have been rolling in there, and all of them have made a lot of plays when their number's been called. And I think Deshaun has a lot of faith and trust in all of those guys.
You haven't gone up against a lot of quarterbacks this year that can challenge point for point and keep up with your offense. And Deshaun Williams is a guy who can move the ball, and that team, you prepare in any way for like a shootout type thing. Do you have that mindset at all?
No, I don't think so. I think really our focus is, you know, our goal is to score every time we get the ball. And really this year, and obviously you can get in the second half of certain games and the game's going, you know, a different way. Maybe you'll slow down what you're doing offensively, but I mean, really every time that we go out there, we want to score, we want to move the football, we want to score as quickly as we possibly can. And you know, I think our guys know, our guys on offense know that, hey, this is a week. They've got a good offense on their side too. We recruited a lot of their guys. They've got great skill on their side too. And you know, I think, you know, our guys will want to go out there and make a lot of plays as well. But you know, I think our focus is really on us, and that's what it's been all year long. It's been on our execution. And if we can go out there and execute, you know, put the ball in the end zone, and good things will happen. And that's all we can focus on.
Does that make the red zone offense just even more important in a game like that?
Yeah, I think red zone's always important. I think, last week, the fact that we were getting touchdowns instead of field goals, I think that's really important. We've done well scoring points in the red zone, but really, we want to get more touchdowns and field goals than maybe we've got in the last few weeks. And I think this past week, that was really a good thing. That once we got down there, we were putting the ball in the end zone and getting 7 points. In a game like this, that'll be very important.